Audio 8, Unit 3, Question 7. A.
When I became a doctor, my cultural knowledge was not good. To understand patients from other cultures, I asked them questions, and I learned from their answers. I always try to get information from them so I don't trigger responses due to cultural differences. This helps with their compliance.
B.
I had a patient who looked down at the floor all the time. He didn't look at me or make eye contact with me. And I was annoyed. Then I realized that he was listening very carefully. He was showing me respect. Now I have the cultural knowledge not to judge people with behaviors I am not familiar with.
C.
I respect my patients' cultural beliefs, even if I don't always agree with them. I know their beliefs are very important to them, just like my beliefs are important to me. Asking questions about their beliefs helps us understand each other, and this improves patient compliance.
Audio 9, Unit 3, Questions 11 and 13.
Thank you for speaking to us today, Dr. Teriyaki. Our listeners will be very interested to hear about your experiences. Tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here. I'm Dr. Teriyaki and I'm a gastroenterologist at a university hospital in Istanbul. We have international patients from lots of different countries. So my work is very interesting.
Yes, I can imagine that your work is very interesting. Is it sometimes difficult to deal with patients from different cultures?
It can be. I certainly found it difficult at first, but I've learnt a lot over the last 25 years. So it's much easier now. But I used to make a lot of mistakes. I probably still do, but my understanding of other cultures has certainly improved.
Can you give us an example of a mistake you made, or some kind of misunderstanding?
Yes. I still smile when I remember one lady. I said to her, "I am concerned that your high BMI may be affecting your health." And she laughed. In fact, she roared with laughter. She wasn't at all offended by my comments. She told me that in her country, in Africa, it's good to be fat. If you're thin, people think you are unhealthy. She was very happy about her weight. She was a lovely lady, and she showed me that some people see problems when others see benefits.
Have all your experiences been as positive?
No, not all. But I've learnt a lot from the negative ones. For example, now I know that some cultures smile a lot and others don't. It doesn't mean they are unhappy, or that the people who smile a lot are silly. And some patients avoid eye contact. It doesn't mean they don't respect me, it is a cultural behavior. However, some patients do things I don't understand at all.
What do you mean, you don't understand at all? Can you give us an example?
Well, one day, a young woman came to see me. She had tattoos all over her body. I thought, why would anyone want to do that to themselves? I did not understand. But I was being friendly, so I asked her why she had all those tattoos. I could tell she was uncomfortable. Then I asked what her parents thought about them. She didn't like that at all. She was very offended and became very defensive.
That must have been embarrassing for both of you.
Yes, I was embarrassed, that's true. But I did learn from the experience, and that's the main thing.
What would you say are the most important lessons you have learnt in your career about people from different cultures and backgrounds?
I've learnt I should never judge them, even if they have beliefs and ideas that are different from my own. So I would say to other doctors, don't assume anything. And don't jump to conclusions. I remember an elderly woman who came to see me. She had just arrived in Turkey. She reminded me of my mother, and I assumed she was the same as my mother. Frail and hard of hearing. So I spoke slowly and loudly, and asked if she wanted my help to get onto the examination table. She frowned at me, and said, "What do you mean?" I spoke more slowly and louder. "Would you like me to help you up?" She just stood up from her chair and jumped onto the table. She had been a professional athlete. She was old in years, but young in body. In fact, she was fitter than me. So you see, I don't assume anything now.
That is very useful advice for all of us.
Yes. I tell my team that everyone is different, and we need to understand the differences. We must be sensitive when we talk to them, to help diagnose them and involve them in their treatment.
Audio 10, Unit 3, Question 24. A.
Thing.
B. They. C.
Vest.
D.
Boat.
E.
Save.
F.
Wires.
G.
Hair.
H.
Hurt.
I.
State.
J.
Right.